Are we on? Yes, we are. Hello, welcome back. I am back at the house that we're renting here, and I'm switching over to acrylics, and I am looking for another brush. Guess I'm not going to find one. Okay. I'm switching over to oil, from acrylics. Don't pay any attention to what I'm saying. Okay, the first step is quite obvious. You gotta warm this thing up quite a bit. I got some oxide red, some too much Indian yellow, a little bit of orange. That always looks absolutely horrifying, doesn't it? When you first put it down. For some reason, my Facebook turned off again. So that's I did oxide red and too much Indian yellow, but I'm going to let it go and see what I can turn it into. Next, let's go all the way around the color wheel. Woo-hoo, let's live dangerously. Let's do some purple next. So, yellow plus purple makes brown, brown or gray. We knew that was going to happen. It's a nice brown, though. It really is. And actually, let's do some purple and ultramarine. A little bluer. Okay, clean those brushes. Let's do one more thing. Let's do some phthalo blue up in the sky. On top of that, whatever color that is up there right now. Of course, as you know, I reserve the right to wipe off anything I don't like. Let's grab a rag and start wiping. I'm afraid you're getting a little bit much glare. Yes, you are. Sorry about that. I don't know how I can, without tearing down and completely resetting up. Sorry about that. Okay, so most important aspect of painting is play of light, right? And the scene that I was looking at this morning, it had hints of this. Let's just say I have way romanticized, jacked up the faint light effects that we were seeing down there. I have gone crazy with it, which I take to be my job as the artist. It is my job to go crazy with it. Okay, now next step is either drawing with brushes in color. I have a photograph here to my right. Either drawing or drawing with pencils. Either one. Sometimes I do pencils, sometimes I do brush. Usually I do a little of each, and the question is which order. Okay, now for some reason I'm in the mood. Let's go with it. Don't fight it. I'm in the mood to do the pencil first. So here we go again. So drawing this whole thing all over again. So if you're counting, this would be like what if I 6th or 7th time that I've rendered the subject matter. Okay, 6 or 7, and at least 2 more to go. Just in case you're the kind of person that likes to count those kind of things. Generally speaking, with each layer, the image becomes a little bit more accurate and a little bit more interesting. Now, one of the advantages, of course, in drawing with pencil is that they are just easier to control. They make a steady line, unlike a brush. So brushes make much more interesting marks, but pencils make more accurate. So go ahead, I say, take advantage of the accurate element. To get the drawing in place. Count them, not 1, but 2. 2 cyclists in this scene. Two cyclists and 1 Jeep. That's the Ocracoke ratio. 2 cyclists for every Jeep. Palm trees. Billy, 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 billy. Sign. Big sign. Important element in the scene. People. And again, and I say this kind of thing so many times, that's why I say again, the goal is not to, I'll use the word render, and by that I mean put on your serious control grip of on your pen or your pencil or your brush, whatever it may be, stick out your tongue and just start drawing the heck out of the thing. Just draw the, faces and noses and belt buckles and shiny shoes and you name it. That's rendering the heck out of whatever it is you're painting. Just force it. Just sheer brute drawing. Make the thing. This is one option. What I'm describing, you probably tell by my tone of voice, is the bad way to do it. Nope, that is not. In other words, put on your sheer brute drawing strength and gut it out and force the thing. Force these to look like kayaks. Force that to look like a kid on a bicycle, or man, or boy, or girl. I don't care. That's one way to do it. That's the wrong way to do it, in my strong opinion. What you want to do is create enough likeness so that the viewer feels, here's a good way to put it, so the viewer feels as though they figured it out all by themselves. And so this is quite the opposite of realism. Realism, you do all the work and they just do all the gawking. With realism, you do all the work and they go, golly, looks just like a photograph, okay? And that's one kind of art for sure. And a lot of really good people do a lot of that kind of art. And why don't I? I used to do more that way. Why don't I anymore? Good question. Because I have seen the light. There's some more truth to that than you might realize. Because I think I've finally figured out what the essence of the aesthetic buzz actually is. What is it that gives human beings that happy, hard to define, transcendent little buzz of pleasure? when they're looking at, say, a piece of art? And the answer is, it is not. They're impressed by your hard work and industry. And that is a certain buzz, don't get me wrong. There's no question people get a buzz out of that kind of artwork. Golly, it took them 200 hours. It took us 600 hours. Can you believe that? You know, you see tons of that stuff on the internet now. Now, the internet is ubiquitous. But I don't think that's an aesthetic buzz. It is a buzz. It's a real buzz. Even I go, golly. Okay, got it? Even I do that. But it's not the highest, I'll put it too bluntly, it's not the highest form of pleasure available to the viewer of art. A much higher form of pleasure is when the viewer is presented with a bunch of abstract, you could say messy, marks, and he or she, the viewer, intuitively figures out what the marks are without being forced into it. And that is a higher, better, in my opinion, form of aesthetic buzz. Okay, done with the pencils. Now let's do some drawing. And my buddy Mike, who's not here on the porch at the moment, let's make sure I'm still broadcasting. Yep, okay, good. My buddy, this is the 5th time we've gotten together, like, for a week. 5th time in 4 years we've gotten, 5th time in 5 years. We missed a year, never mind, too much detail. And now, for the last 3 years, we've gathered a group of different artists to come with us and paint in Acrylic. Okay, but what I was going to say is, we were chatting yesterday, and he doesn't like my dark black, my favorite color, dark black. He says, man, no, don't draw in those color killer colors. Don't draw colorless, you draw in color. So, okay, so I'm here to be influenced, even by Mike. And so I'm going to try. Okay, so right at the moment I'm drawing in purple. Because it's a good, if you're in the world of transparent, purple is about as dark as you can get. So I'll try it. I'm not guaranteed. I don't know if I'm going to switch, but I'll try it. In honor of Mikey, who is not here to hear me say all this nice stuff. I'm going to try. At least I'm not going to stay in purple the whole time. I used to, this is not a far stretch for me, because I used to outline in colors all the time. I've just gotten away from it for a number of reasons, who knows what. Now, everything I'm doing now, of course, is still underpainting, right? You know that. So, not only is it okay for some of my underpainting to be inaccurate, some of the lines to be slightly off place, out of place, it's actually an advantage for some of the lines to be out of place. Let me put it this way. If in the underpainting, if all of your lines accidentally, quote unquote, end up being in exactly the right spot, then when it comes to the overpainting stage of the process, where you're doing the final touches, you will, of course, you will put the next layer of lines also in the right spot, which means you'll have, let's say this telephone pole. If I put this line right here in exactly the right place, then, which I did not do, see there, then when I come to the final layer, I'll put the next line also in exactly the right place, and I'll have two lines on top of each other in exactly the right place. Number one, it's a waste of energy, because I don't need to do the second line if there's already a line there. But number two, it's a missed opportunity, because If the first line is slightly off kilter, then when I put the correct line in the right place, it will create a fascinating, a pleasant vibration. It sets up a pleasant effect by having the erroneous line peeking around one side or the other, slightly peeking around the object. Does that make sense? So it's okay. So I don't have to belabor this stage. I don't need to stick my tongue out and try to get everything all perfect, because it doesn't create a good effect. Okay, time for me to change colors. I'm going to add red to this. I'm not going to clean my brushes. And when I say red, it was a permanent rose, which is a very purplish red. So now it's more like, I've got more like a cranberry color, using non-artist terms here, of course. Sort of a cranberry color on my brush, just for variety, that's all. Okay, these are obviously, I think it's obvious, these are people, right? People walking down the street. And here's a car. You don't get credit for how much you explain in painting. You get credit for how much you don't explain, but people get it anyway. At least in the world of whatever kind of painting this is. Some people would say impressionistic. Yeah, definitely impressionistic. That's too vague of a term. David Lefel, very well-known, highly respected painter. Lefel, I believe, one F. David Lefel calls his painting abstract realism, and I think that's the best label I've got for my style of painting as well. Abstract realism, because it certainly is realistic, so to speak. It's realism. It's not non-objective abstract, but the abstract elements, the line, the shape, color, design, value, texture, all of those elements are far paramount, more important than the picture. And we've talked about that enough. I won't go down that path anymore right now. We don't paint pictures, we paint paintings. Happy is the artist who finally figures that out. It took me a long time to figure that out. And I want to help others, all those who want to figure it out. I want them to figure it out. Some dark stuff up here, really dark stuff. There's a porch, balconies, I should say, over here on this building. I don't know what, I have no idea what's over here. I probably should just leave it that way, since I have no idea what it is. I'm going to mix up a little dark black right now, in spite of Mike Rooney's protest, because I need some dark right there. I need some color killer. Need to kill some colors. Need to kill me some colors. Okay, I think I'm done with that. Let me pause this video, and when I come back, I'll be all the way down to the next to the last layer. The next layer is going to be the fuzz layer. Translucent, so opaque paint applied very thinly, translucent, soft-edged, and local color. Those three things. And glow, four things. Translucent, soft-edged, glow, and local color. And after that, lately I've been finding myself wanting to come back and do more pencil, because almost all the pencil gets covered up in this next layer. Not all, but a lot of it. And then, after the pencil, it's down to the last layer. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope that's instructive and enjoyable. Thanks for the thumbs up, you guys.